Hi everyone. So on the right I have a miniature version of the Turing machine that we drew earlier, and one thing I probably forgot was to mark this as the final state. So I'll do that now. So this is our final state and this is our Turing machine. Now let's try out a couple of examples. Remember that the language that we drew this Turing machine for was a to the power n, b to the power n, c to the power n. So let's take our first example, which is let's say the string AA, BB, CC. So what we'll do is we'll draw the state of our tape at every stage. So initially my tape looks something like this: AA, BB, CC, and a B right here. And now we are at state Q0 and our cursor is right here, or actually we should say it's right here at our first input symbol. So next what happens to our tape is the tape now becomes B, and the A changes to an X when I make the transition according to the transition that's given, and the rest of it remains the same, and my cursor is now here. And the next stage from here is so the next stage from here is my tape now becomes BX, a B, B, C, C, and a B right here. And that was according to the first rule of the self loop of Q1. So I just move my cursor right by 1. So my cursor is now here. And the next stage is to convert this B to an X according to the transition going from Q1 to Q2. So this B now changes to, actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this, and let me just mark the next stage right here. So I move to the B and I stayed at Q1, and now what I did was I converted the B to a Y, and I keep the rest of it the same. And now my cursor is at this B right here. So the next stage, the next step is the self loop on Q2, which is converting, which is keeping the B as a B and just moving to the right. So I'm going to write that step here itself. So this just moves right here. So now what happens is I move from Q2 to Q3 and I move the cursor to the left and I convert this C to a Z. So the next step from here is this, which is X, A, Y, B, Z, C, and B. And my cursor is now at this B right here. And now I'm at Q3. Q3 is the state that I'm at, and I need to go left when I get a B. So I go from here to the Y right here, and once again I'm still at Q3. So I stay at Q3 and I move left when I get a Y as well. So I move to here, and when I get an A, I move once again to the left and keep the A as it is. So I move right here, and this is when I move from Q3 to Q0 because I've now encountered an X. So from here what I get is something like this. I get B, and when I get an X, when I move to Q0, I'm also going to move the cursor to right here. And from here what I'm going to get is at Q0 I'm going to again convert the A to an X. So I'm going to get an X right here, and a Y, and a B, a Z, C, B. That's the state of my tape right now, and my cursor is, it has moved to this Y right here. And now I take the second rule of the self loop on Q1 and I just move the cursor to the right, keeping the Y as it is, so it moves here. And now this B gets converted to a Y, so I get B, X, X, Y, Y, and my cursor moves to the Z. so my cursor is now here, and then I take the self loop on Q2 and move the cursor to the C right here, and this C now changes to a Z. So the state of my tape will now be something like this, which is BXXYY ZZ and a B again, and my cursor will now be at this Z right here because I moved one step left from the C. So that's where my cursor will be. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep taking the self loops on Q3 till I get to my first X. So what's going to happen is in one step I will reach from here to here, followed by here to here, all of this while I'm staying at Q3, and then I will reach right here, and this is when I will move to Q0 and take the cursor one step to the right. So my cursor will now be right here, and I'm at Q0 right now. So from Q0, when I have a Y on my tape, the next step that I go to is Q4. So I go to B, X, X, Y, Y, Z, Z, and a B, and I'm at Q4 at this stage. So my cursor is at right here, the second Y here, and at this stage I'm at Q4. And now what I do is I keep looping on Q4 till I get Y's and Z's. So I can go from here to here, and once again from at Q4 I have a self loop when I get a Z. So I just don't change the Z to anything, and I just move right. So I go here, and once again I have a Z, so I don't change the Z and move right here. And as soon as I get a B, I can take this rule right here and I can move to Q5, and of course I have more B's right here. I can have as many B's as I want, and what I do is I move the cursor. Doesn't really matter where I move the cursor, but since this mentions right, I just move the cursor to the right and I end up at Q5, which means that this string is going to be accepted. So that's an example of an accepting string. Now what we can do is we can take a look at an example of a string that's not going to be accepted. So let's take a look at something like AA, BA, and C. So the last C isn't really going to matter, as we'll see soon enough. So my tape is now BA, AB, AC, and a B again, and my cursor is right here. So what happens is I'm at Q1 right now, so I mark the A and I get this thing. I get BAC and a B, and my cursor is now here, which will at Q2 itself take the self loop and move to the B, and then I mark the B as well. So I do a B, XA, and a Y, and an A, and a C, and a B, and my cursor is now right here. Now as you can see, I'm at Q2 right now. So I'm at Q2 because I just changed a B to a Y using this rule right here. So I'm at Q2, and from Q2 I don't have any transition when the symbol that's read from the tape is an A, which means that I'm now stuck. And just as we saw in push down automata, when we get stuck in a Turing machine, it means that that string is not to be accepted, which means that this string is not going to be accepted. So these were a couple of examples with the Turing machine that we drew. I hope you understood these examples, and now what you can do is you can try some strings of your own, try running them through this Turing machine. I hope you're able to accept the strings that need to be accepted and reject the strings that need to be rejected. And I hope you understood Turing machines from these videos? If you did, give the videos a like, share them with your friends, and if you haven't already, guys, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you next time.